Greetings, pirates, privateers, and other ne'er-do-wells. This is Grim coming at you live once again from Akua on a wonderful rainy day. When last we met, we were talking about getting ready to get our shit together and get off the planet here. In order to do that, though, we're going to need something a little bit better than our old trusty falconet here. So in today's episode, we are going to be picking up the roughneck. Doesn't take a whole lot to build this guy. It is a miner. It is a starter miner, but it's got a couple of interesting little things about it that are going to help us on our journey here to getting off this rock and starting our pirating empire. First off, it's got 4 heavy drills on the front, great for getting ore out of the ground. It's also got its own constructor on board, which will allow us to build ourselves up a little bit without needing to plop a base down and attracting Xerax attention. Unfortunately, the only way that we can do that is with a material called cobalt. Now, if you play Empyrean Galactic Survival on vanilla, cobalt is on your starter planet. You'll be able to find it up near the poles. For Reforged Eden 2, they decided to make things a little bit more spicy, and they moved it up there somewhere. It's on the moon, so we need to go to the moon. We have a spaceship, but we also needed a few other things. I put some armor together. This is just a light suit of armor. It's constructible at low levels and comes with a helmet for keeping the atmosphere in, which will keep you alive in a place that doesn't have any atmosphere. Also comes with a nifty little headlight installed already. So, if we go to our bar here, we can take this flashlight and throw it in the trash where it belongs because it's useless. Our hands are free to do whatever we need. We can see what's in front of us and it's all good. I spent a couple hours today before filming setting up a few things before we go. I went out and mined all the copper, all the iron, all the carbon that we're going to need for this ship, and the silicon ahead of time, because mining is catastrophically boring, and unfortunately we still have a little bit more to do with the cobalt, but I figured it might be worth coming along for the ride for our first little trip out into space in our paper spaceship with no ammunition installed. Without further ado, here we go. And when I say paper, I mean it's made out of steel, the falconet, so you can take a hit or two, but not much more than that. I'd avoid getting into a fight with anything larger than a spider in this. Alright. Breaking out into space. Reorienting. Let's have a little look around and see if we can find us a moon. There's Akua. Very beautiful against the night sky. There's the moon. Let's just throw a tag on that so we can go out and find it. Ah, it's hiding around the other side of the planet. Now I'll show you a neat little trick here once we've got the moon in our sights that'll save you some fuel when you're flying around in space if you haven't already figured it out. Empyrean Galactic Survival's got a non-Newtonian flight model by way of a sort of ship's computer that keeps you pointed on the straight and narrow automatically. If you want to turn that off though and just coast, hit the I on your keyboard. See how that icon changed at the bottom right? It's just a little ship now with no arrows. At that point, you can take your finger off of the thrust, and you will just coast. One of the things that really drew me to this game in the beginning was just the sheer gorgeousness of space and the way that they've done planets. They're not, strictly speaking, perfect representations, but for a video game, I think they deliver. More than many others, I might add. Alright, so we're on final approach to the moon. Gonna level us out a little bit so we fall bottom first into it. There we go. And as soon as you see the dropping start, tap I on the keyboard again to fire up the thrusters and keep us airborne. Now, let's take a look at what's around. So what we're after is cobalt. It's going to be one of these radar signatures, so we're going to have to fly around and figure out which one of them is cobalt. Don't want to get anywhere near the Xerax in this little paper boat. Things would not go well. And let's have a little look. You got to get within 200 meters to be able to scan these with a regular detector. So, silicon. A big mess of stuff up this way. Ooh, yep, we don't want to get anywhere near a cannon drone. Apologies for the errors. Like I said, we still don't have any guns on this sucker because we can't create the ammunition because we need cobalt to make the constructor that would have gone on the back of this boat. Silicon and copper. Let's see where we're going here. There's a Polaris trade station on the other end. Might be able to find what we're looking for there as well. But for the time being, I'm gonna zoom around the moon here and see what I can find on my own. There it is. Alright, cobalt deposit. Unfortunately, we have some company. So we'll have to be careful while we're mining. don't think they've seen me. Looks like they're keeping their distance for now. And here's the other thing. It's going to be cold when we get out of this ship, so we're going to have limited time down on the surface to do what we need to do. So, let's get right to it. Little hint. Turn the power off on the boat and the drones shouldn't shoot it. Yep, already starting to get cold. I'm gonna try and get down to where the cobalt is. Run back up to the ship real quick. Once we've gotten a bit. Just make sure I am... Air controller. Connect to it. Alright, let's get out of here. Back up to the boat. Sit and thaw out for a little bit. Alright, temperature's going up. That feels better. Just take a look around. Yeah, that minigun is still there. That minigun is still there. Leaving us alone. Alright. Connected to the boat. Should be able to grab enough cobalt out of this one deposit to put together the boat that we need back on the surface of the Cuba. Now the Roughneck is a rough and ready miner ship. It doesn't have any frills. It's got a very constructive paint job. It's also armed with a turret, which we're going to use to keep those drones off of us and possibly get a little bit more experience with. Going to have to go back and warm up again. A little bit later on in the game, we're going to invest in some boosters, maybe over at that Polaris depot, see if they've got something, or we might be able to loot it from a POI. And who knows, that might happen in this episode. The big one was just getting that boat built. Once the boat's built, we'll take a look at what we can do next. Alright, back into the breach. Aren't you glad I saved you from having to watch this with all the iron, the copper, the silicon, the graphite? I mean, seriously, for an ASMR thing, it's not bad. But as a spectator sport, this is horrible. Alright. Real cold again. Let's head back up to the ship and see how much cobalt we have on us. So we might have enough to be able to build the Roughneck. Alright, let's see. 90, and then roughneck. It's going to take 40 ingots. It might be enough, but I want to make sure I don't want to get caught out and have to make another trip back up here. So we'll do 2 more trips. Fill up on as much as we can in that time. See if we can't get us a pretty little work truck to go fly around in. And you can do it. It's only 95 below. Come on. Alright. Run back up to the boat. Alright. Take a look around. Yeah, they're still keeping their distance. I think we're safe. Looks like I went and stayed out a little too long. Okay, so frostbite. How am I going to deal with that? Antibiotic, ointment. We're going to have to make something back at base. Hope I have the right stuff to do that. This is going to be a short video. Alright. Once more into the breach. Get out of here, head back to the surface, and see what we can come up with. There should be everything that we need back on the surface of the planet to help out with the frostbite. It does make your hunger go down a little quicker, though, which is annoying. Hadn't been counting on that today. Neck of the woods. Alright, so on our way back in towards the escape pod, looks like necrosis is getting close. I figure I've got about 5 minutes before that catches up with me, so I'm going to have to see if I can come up with some antibiotic ointment, or we're going to see my first death. Yay! Death! Alright. Any landing you can walk away from, right? Let's see what I've got. That's what we need to make. Herbal leaves and plant protein. So I've got to go find some herbal leaves, and some plant protein. Shoot. Looks like I let it sit there too long. Okie dokie. There's some plant protein. The herbal leaves are in these big pitcher plant looking things. I don't see any right around here. Sometimes you have to switch up the biome a little bit before they show up, so fly into a swamp. Ooh. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. I think I forgot to turn the boosters back on. That was it. Let's see. Telluropods, don't want to mess with those guys. Yet anyway. Yeah, swamp's not doing much for me either. Well, I'm gonna keep flying around until I find it or I die. At which point, I'll just be able to fly back without necrosis. So, kinda no harm, no foul, but it does sorta suck. Yep. Nothing I need. I'm getting super hungry there too. That's probably going to kill me before the necrosis sets in. And that's a product. Not being able to get enough protein in me. Alright, let's get the protein bars going. This might just turn out to be an exciting episode after all. Yeah, necrosis is getting close to setting in. I can't make any more food. I haven't found any of the pitcher plants. Oh, today is not my day. I'll be honest, not how I expected this episode to go. But as far as learning about how the game works in the first stages, this is going to happen a lot. You will die. Especially Reforged Eden 2. It is not kind to newbies, hence the dearth of how-to videos like this one. Alright, still not seeing anything in this biome, which is a real bummer. I was hoping there'd be something close, but there just isn't. So, I'm going to get close to the boat. And... oh, there's the necrosis. We'll watch this all happen in real time. May as well see if I can spend my last few seconds on the planet gathering some resources for later. It's one of the things that I always tend to do when I'm playing this game, and I haven't learned not to yet, is don't go in somewhere unprepared. But every single time... oh, look. This is awesome. Herbal leaves, alright. Suit constructor, antibiotic ointment. It's not going to cure the hunger. I need a few more of these to do that. Oh, this could be hilarious. Hey, one of those. Use that on the necrosis. Hopefully those bars are done before I fucking keel over. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, 1 health left. Well, 1 hunger. Oh, snatch from the jaws of defeat. Alright. The necrosis is still there. How do I treat it? Oh, antibiotic injection. Yeah, I can't make one of those. Alright. So what we're going to do now is just go back to the escape pod, where I'm probably going to die from necrosis. And see if we can at least get that cobalt churning up into something more. Well, it would seem like I've made another mistake. Apparently, the small portable constructor here will not do cobalt ingots, which I just don't get. That means that I'm going to have to find somewhere to refine the cobalt or find my own cobalt ingots, and that's going to be a whole other episode, I think. Gonna have to sit down and have a big think on this one. Maybe I'll do a midweek and catch up once I've gone back to school. At any rate, thanks for joining me this time around. It's Grim from Cartel Incorporated being absolutely stupid with this game. We'll see you next time.